Can you talk to us a little bit about what you're working on for this year? If you're trying to reclaim your reward, of course.
Yeah. So, I think it's important that the human side of AI can continue to be front and center. Probably, equally, if not more important, going into 2022 is hopefully we, recover from the last, almost at this point, pretty much 24 months of lockdowns, of working from home, of social justice movements, of climate movements. I think adding a sustainability lens to the human side is also important. But I think for 2022, as far as what I'm going to focus on, is really doubling down on that human element. And we spent a lot of time in 2021 and late 2020 developing the methodology and starting to implement it with a few customers. For us this year, it's really about scaling and making sure that this is a methodology that can be used by all. So we're going to be making a lot of these assets public. And the reason for that is, it's not just about IBM's success in AI. A bad outcome from AI for anyone is bad for all of us. And so, really trying to make sure that what we do in the realms of processes and workflows and things like that are as public as possible, while still enabling us as a company, because just like all the other companies that are in this, we're in business to make money. But at the same time, we need to help protect the industry, and the industry being AI, not just technology. And so, we need to make sure that people have access to the right tools and methodologies to focus on this human-centered approach. So that's really the focus for the year. And then also using some of the newer technologies that are coming out to apply contextual. So can we apply things like neuro-symbolic learning or logical neural networks to provide additional context into AI, which helps with humanizing it? And then also looking at how do we push AI more fully out to the edge? And there's many reasons for that. One is, we all walk around with these edge devices. Our cars are edge. Everything we interact with is essentially could be an edge device. But there's also need for leveraging edge type technologies to preserve privacy where it's appropriate. So why would I ever pull data off my phone? Why can't I just use something like federated learning to learn here and then give the company the information, the new models they need for whatever purpose? There's similar legal requirements for that as well when we look at data residency requirements in some jurisdictions where it may be more straightforward and may provide less burden on companies to do federated learning or edge-based learning in those jurisdictions, so they don't have to worry about specific contracts or negotiations or things like that with countries, especially if they don't do a lot of business there.
There's probably someone out there who's trying to vie for your spot this year. What would you say in terms of making a successful innovator in the solutions provider space?
The focus of this project wasn't to become the AI Innovator of the Year. The focus of this project was to do the right thing and enable the broader community to do the right thing. And so I think, if you focus on that and you are creative and you really do it in a way that has an impact, I think, being nominated for this award or these types of awards will come as part of that. But I don't think the ultimate goal should be the ultimate focus should be on becoming the innovator, nominated for one of the innovators of the year, or even, being voted that. It really should be on doing the right thing and enabling our community and our industry to be as successful with as little disruption as possible.
What's your take on kind of, the key innovators for this year, even either inside or outside IBM? Is there someone or some brand that you're looking at thinking, actually, the work that they're doing is, pretty worth looking at? In order to implement AI successfully, we need to be looking at it more holistically. So taking this approach of AI governance. So kind of like, in GDPR, 4 years ago, really forced us to focus on data governance. There's new EU regulations that are coming up that are going to make us do the same thing.
However, I think if we look at even successfully operationalizing AI in the enterprise, absent any regulations, there needs to be the same kind of governance focus. Because, for financial services companies or healthcare companies, for example, there's also already a tremendous amount of regulatory pressure that they're under. And they need to be able to govern AI in their enterprise in a way that enables them to keep doing business, enables their teams to have choice. And so I would say the innovation this year that we'll see and the focus that we'll see this year is going to really be on bringing together multiple niche technologies to deliver a fully functional AI governance capability. There's no one company today, IBM included, that can deliver that in its entirety without a partner, without an ecosystem. And so it's really going to be focusing on embracing the ecosystem to deliver AI governance. And I suspect you'll see some consolidation in that space as well, to provide more capabilities in some of the big players.